Welcome to Ever After, a Once Upon a Time podcast. Season 3, Episode 7, Dark Hollow. In this episode, Ariel succeeds in retrieving Pandora's box from Storybrooke, while Emma captures Pan's shadow. Meanwhile, Pan forces a mysterious prisoner to trick Henry.
Ooh.
I am your host, Molly Southgate, and with me is...
Martha Southgate.
And...
Rob Southgate. Ooh, mysterious.
Okay, we found out who the mysterious stranger is.
Yes, that was the big question we had last time.
Wendy.
Yes.
I never saw that coming.
No.
Not in a million
I didn't
years.
know that she went back.
I didn't know that she didn't get to leave.
No, she did get to leave then. She got to leave.
Well, we saw her go with the shadow.
Uh-huh.
And that was the last time we saw her. And obviously, he kept her there. And then when John and Michael were older, he went to them and trapped them. That's why they're still younger, but they're not kids.
They're about Bay's age.
Yeah, he took them, no, they're younger than Bay.
No, they're Bay's age.
I think they're younger.
I think they're Bay's age.
Let's cut them and count the rings. That'll tell us.
Dead silence.
Dead silence. So, yeah, so he's blackmailing them.
Dead silence and an awkward stare.
Yes, and I did not see that coming. When they first arrived, I thought, who are these guys? And then they were working for Pan, and they even said, we know we're working for Peter Pan. I sure didn't think it until, and I'd like to take credit for this, I was the first one to call it out, that it was John and Michael.
You didn't actually call it out. You said, oh my gosh, I know who they are. And then, chain reaction, I figured out. You never actually uttered their names.
All right, next time I'll blurt it out. I'll ruin the fun. So yeah, it's John and Michael.
Uh-huh.
Where's Nana?
She's still back at home. And they said that that he has held her for a 1,000 years.
1,000 years. No, it can't be 1,000 years.
That's what he said.
But that can't be.
Well, they exaggerate.
It can't be because that wasn't 1,000 years ago.
Right. So why'd they say
It'd be 100 years. I think we'd have to go back and listen.
No, it wouldn't be 1,000 years.
No, it couldn't be.
It couldn't be 100 years.
Sure it could.
20.
No. That story didn't take place when Mom and I were getting married. That would have been 20 years ago.
Yeah.
No, that would have been like 100 years. That would make sense.
No, that one.
Yeah.
No, that really wouldn't.
Unless.
He said 1,000.
Yeah. Let's go with No, he didn't. All right, now everyone's confusing.
Okay. I want to...
Well, in Neverland, you never grow up, so
Right.
that's probably...
I want to talk about Belle and Rumple's storyline.
Okay. I do
this
too.
feeds into it. So, in the beginning, Belle and Rumple are saying goodbye.
Yes. What showed,
She
it
does
said
the cloaking.
5 days ago.
Yeah.
So all this has happened has been over the course of 5 days. So
That
we
seems
see them.
logical.
Yeah, no. It just, I'm just pointing out it's been 5 days.
Not all shows are logical when it comes to time.
Right.
24, I'm looking in your general direction.
No, that's totally logical. That's 24
Kicked heroin and 24
hours.
in 1
Well,
day.
yeah, everything that happens in that
is
time
1
is
hour.
illogical.
Yeah. Wow, we went really off track there for a second. Okay,
Yeah.
so...
I didn't know what we were talking about for a second.
Very well played then.
She and the dwarves and the blue fairy and assorted other townsfolk
Yay!
get the
Dr.
spell,
Hopper's there, yeah.
and this dome
Yes.
starts to go over the town of Storybrooke, which is
Yes.
a cloaking device, and these two guys are driving in their car, and they
And
bumper
as
drive
goes
under
off.
As the dome's coming,
And then
they
it
speed up.
slows back and the bumper falls off.
Yeah, it cut the bumper right off it.
and they're
Boy,
from Minnesota.
if it had been any closer, it could have blown up because the gas tank is back there. Now, do you think Big Jim Rennie is there from under the dome?
I hope not.
I hope so.
All right, so there you go.
So there you
the
go.
cloaking-
Was that your whole story?
No, but the cloaking thing is on.
Right. And these two
guys are in there now,
right.
and
They're
that's
the
that.
ones
Now, it's
that they
appropriate
wanted
that
to
they're
keep
in there,
out.
though, because John and Michael are from the stories.
They got guns.
Yes, they had a gun. I thought that was funny when they
It's
captured...
not that I don't know what they are.
Right, when they captured Ariel and Belle. And she goes, why do we keep doing everything they say? And Belle says, well, because they have guns.
She's like,
She goes, I don't really know what those are.
Right?
and then she said, and then later, Ariel says to them, they're like, we don't want to hurt you. And she's like, well, I'm not afraid of you and your guns, and that's not because I don't know what they are.
Right. So, Rumpelstiltskin and Regina send Ariel to Storybrooke, and she has 24 hours until her legs will disappear. And
I thought it was 12 hours.
24, my friend.
I thought it was 12. You're stuck on 24 because of the shell.
I wrote she has 24 hours.
Dink, dink. I think it was 12.
Okay.
Molly, what do you think?
I got 24. My numbers all in a...
Because the magic lasts for 12 hours. They set that up in the other episode. Why would they change it to 24 now?
Because that was only how Ursula granted them.
Okay.
This was a magical bracelet.
Well, we'll have to go back now that it's on Netflix. We can go back and watch it.
The same way that Regina could say, you can have it whenever you want now.
Okay.
She can make it whatever she and she.
All right. I thought it was 12 hours.
I wrote 24, but I don't know. What do I know?
Okay.
So,
somebody will write in and tell us we're wrong, or that I'm right.
Felix told Peter Pan that someone, Pan said someone's leaving the island. Right. And Felix said, well, why aren't we stopping them? And he said it's too late.
There's been a great disturbance in the force.
Because Ariel is already headed to Storybrooke at this point. Right. But he has people in Storybrooke.
He's got peeps.
I didn't like that.
Yeah, when he said he had people there?
I didn't like Tamara and Owen.
What about today? What do you think about her?
I like her even less.
Dead silence.
Dad, I need a high five because you said that awesomeness.
Yep.
That wasn't don't encourage him.
Yep. That's right. Awesomeness.
Yep. Uh-huh.
So I thought one of the scenes in Storybrooke that was really funny was when the dwarves, all except Grumpy, are discussing how peaceful it is with Snow White and David gone. Yeah. Now, I would think that it wouldn't necessarily be Snow and David that were causing... Emma caused a heck of a lot of trouble. Right. Regina, Rumple...
Ever since Snow came into their lives, they've fought evil queens and had all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, because before they were just simple miners.
Right.
But before that, though...
No giant stepping on his Miata now. I thought that was a funny
Before that,
line.
Mary Margaret was a simple school teacher, just living her life. It was Emma.
Crazy.
But they were all under a spell. They're thinking about it now from the point that when Snow and Charming came into their lives. That was 12 hours ago.
Yeah. So, Belle is feeling quite sorry for herself.
It was 24.
Right.
Belle's feeling sorry for herself in this episode. She keeps wasting hamburgers, and that really makes me upset.
Yeah, that hamburger looked good, didn't it?
Yeah.
Stop ordering them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there was pickle and fried, really?
Yeah, and it looked nice and juicy.
It makes me really mad.
You know what? We're going to have to end this podcast because we got to eat.
And now I'm going to ask her, I'll eat it for you.
There you go.
But, really, just stop ordering them. They said that's your fourth or fifth one you...
Sixth!
Okay, see, I have my numbers all up.
You got a number problem.
Yeah.
So, but that's the...
Did you go to school?
No. Yeah, I did. That's the, whatever number one you've wasted this week. How about you stop giving them to her then?
Right. Give her the leftover. Well, if she's paying for them, they're going to give them to her.
I don't care.
Yeah, that's why you don't own a restaurant. You can't have your rules ruling the restaurant.
Someone needs to eat it.
Okay.
Like me. Upsetting. I'll eat it for her.
I like to think Grumpy eats it when she leaves. Fine, I'll eat it. Grumpy. I'd be Grumpy in that case. I like to back clean up. Anyone else getting hungry if I'm thinking about hamburgers?
No. So Belle and Ariel then go to Rumpelstiltskin's shop.
Yes.
And they find the Pandora's box. How did she find it?
She took Chip. She's like, I wonder why it's out here. And she put it back in its place. And it went...
Yep, magic happened.
Well, she said, Ariel had said, it's the source, Belle had said it's the source of our love.
Right.
And she said, the cup.
Right.
Chip.
Yeah. And then she said, I wonder how you make it do anything. And she said, well, this is where he used to keep it. And then she put it, so it wasn't that she just happened to see it out. Right.
She knew when she saw Chip what it was. And she said Chip was a key because he enchanted it.
Do you go to school?
And that what it did was it showed a little door. She opened it up and inside was...
Pandora's box.
Yes.
Yep.
And then just as they find it...
Guys, I forget what Pandora's box is.
It's a box that either has crazy, amazing things inside, or the worst things ever inside.
Yeah.
It's your choice, whichever one. When you open it, if you want to take that risk.
So it's either going to be really good for you or really, really bad.
Yes. And just as she says this, in walk
the Minions.
David and Michael.
The Minions.
Peter and Michael. What are their names?
Minions. Build a jelly factory.
John and Michael. And that's when they capture them, and then it goes to the scene that we talked about where they were tied up. And
so how did they get out?
After they were tied up, how'd they get out?
Belle took and Ariel took the bracelet. Belle took the bracelet off of Ariel. And then she got a tail and she squirmed out.
Yep.
And she could...
Well, that's because she's a fish and they're all slimy and gross.
And then she fixed up Belle.
Yep.
She did her hair and got her in a nice outfit. Aren't you?
Well, when they found Pandora's box...
Said fixed up. I really mean fixed up.
Oh, yeah.
When they found Pandora's box, Belle said it contains the world's darkest evil. And Ariel said, shouldn't you be wearing gloves? I thought that was funny.
That was good.
So Belle took the bracelet off, which freed him.
Yep.
And then they went to go find something. What were they going to go do?
What, when they left there?
Do you want me to say it again?
Yeah.
So Belle, after they took the bracelet off and she went all fish on the
fishy
situation, and got them out, they went off to...
They went to the mines.
Yes.
And they were going
wanted to
down
do a good
there.
day's work. That's what they wanted to do.
No, they had to get the pickaxe.
Yes.
Happies.
Well, because she said...
Guys are always happies and they never do happy things with it.
Well, she said, we need
question.
something that can break it, that can break Pandora's box. And she's like, well, I guess we need magic. She goes, no, at one of the dwarves' pickaxes. That's what they used to cause all this trouble before, because it's harder than the magic. Mm-hmm. So that's what they were going to do. And then they got down in the mine, and what was going on?
Already, John and Michael were starting it.
Yeah, they were going to do something to it. And they're like, no, don't mess with that box. And that's when Belle released the minecart, Indiana Jones, and Short Round were in it, and they went on this wild chase. Dr. Jones! And then they hit him, bam! And then those guys fell to the side, and then that's when we found out it was John and Michael.
It was more like slapstick, because the cart was barely moving, knocked someone over, and they're like, that wouldn't have done anything. And they also could see it coming, so they easily could have moved out of the way. So it was just kind of funny slapstick at that point.
I was doing more Benny Hill.
It wasn't exactly believable that it was really not
completely believable. Well, John did lose a foot when the thing hit him, so I'd say that's pretty believable.
I wrote here, Belle knocked the Minions over with the cart and took the box.
The Minions.
But that's when we find out Wendy's being held.
Yes.
And we were trying to figure out who was in that cage. It never occurred to me it was a woman.
It never occurred to me that it was Wendy.
I thought you were going to say it. Never occurred to me it was a Wendy.
I was thinking
a Wendy bird, like from Peter Pan.
Oh yeah.
Yes. I was thinking it could have been another lost boy, somebody's parent. I was thinking it could have been a shadow, because remember, Rumpel's shadow is out there. I thought, what if he captured Rumpelstiltskin's shadow and he's going to use that as a bargaining chip? I don't know.
Don't say chip.
What if it was the little missing piece of chip?
So Ariel heads back to Neverland now that she has Pandora's box. They know about Wendy, and they're going to try to help her, help free her.
Yes.
And so she goes back to Neverland, and Regina and Hook are waiting for Ariel. And Hook is talking about Belle, and Regina's clearly jealous. She's not really handling the conversation well.
Right.
And Hook says, Rumpel says, I wrote Hook. I'm so sorry. It was...
Wow, you're getting names wrong, numbers wrong.
Rumpelstiltskin. I had a little too much sun today.
Yeah, I can tell.
But Rumpelstiltskin's waiting with her, and he's talking about Belle and how much they love each other and whatever, and Regina's just wanting to gag.
Yep.
And he says, you're jealous. And she said, of Belle? And he says, no, of love. Like that.
Right, that I found somebody.
But we know that she has Lion Man waiting for her.
Lion!
Yep.
Just so you know, it's Robin Hood. He's not Lion Man.
No, it's Little Lion Man. Hey, Little Lion Man. It's that song.
I don't even know what you were just
I was singing that song, Little Lion Man. It's by, I don't know. You know who I mean. Those guys that play the banjos and sing.
We don't really know.
And it's called Little Lion Man. It is.
So
look it up.
Ariel comes up.
Mumford and Sons. That's what it is.
Okay.
See?
So she comes up, she hands them Pandora's box,
and
she starts to hand Regina the bracelet, and Regina said, "You have fulfilled your mission. Now you can have legs whenever you want, or a fin, whatever Eric's into these days." Oh, did we laugh?
That was a good one. We actually had to rewind that one. It was so funny.
So now Ariel gets to, move about the cabin freely.
Yeah.
Feel free to
roam about the Storybrooke. Yeah.
So she's going to go back and try to find Eric.
Yes. And we still don't know where Eric is. You said you wondered if it was Eric, one of those two that were coming to the town.
I did too.
Yeah, but he's not. He's going to be something like, they're going to get back there and he's going to be like the janitor at the school or something. You're going to appear and be like, oh!
Did he already have that? Or no, it was the soccer coach.
That was the soccer coach.
Whatever happened to them? They just dropped.
They're living up in a tree somewhere.
Dad, with the door.
With the door.
You forgot the best parts of the story. With the door and the nuts and the and the giant jug of vinegar.
Yep.
And they're going to be drinking the vinegar.
Yeah, that's exactly what they're doing. I bet they come back at some point. I think that we're going to get back to Storybrooke, and a lot of these characters and things that we saw in the first season, they're going to be there. They're going to be background players. It's like we haven't seen Ruby in how long now?
Right.
And Ruby's coming back.
Oh, she better.
She better. All right.
All right, you guys, why don't you take...
And if she doesn't...
Neil, Emma, and Hook.
Neil, Emma, and Hook. So, our little love triangle is happening.
Dun, dun.
Now, Hook tells Neil about it. About the kiss. And Neil had no idea. And Hook's like, I thought he heard my secret.
Yeah.
So, Neil and Hook start vying for attention. Like, they start fighting like boys will do, right?
Yeah.
And
Wait
finally...
a minute, Dad, you're a boy.
What does Emma say? When she finally says to him, look, if I have to choose,
I choose Henry.
Right. So you two boys don't need to keep fighting over it. Whatever's going to happen isn't going to happen here on Neverland.
And they have to go to the Dark Hollow.
Right, and they got to deal with all
this. I love this. This is my favorite line.
Okay.
When Emma says, can't there be a place called, like, Sunshine Rivers?
Yeah, right.
Rainbow.
And Rainbow Island?
Yeah.
No,
it's always
there's
dark and
Skull Island and Shadowland.
So they're in there trying to capture this shadow,
right?
And they're going to use
this was really cool. And there were two other shadows with him, and those shadows were all fighting. And they said that Pan's shadow was the one controlling them, and they grabbed Neil and Hook and they started trying to rip the shadows out of them.
Wait! You're missing the best part. Before that, right when it started and the shadows hadn't come yet, they were Hook is saying, "Well, how are we going to light this candle?" And Bay says, "Well, welcome to the 21st century," and he has his lighter,
right?
And he can't make it light. And Hook says, "Give it to me, I'll do it." And so the two of them start fighting over the lighter, and he says, "I have one hand and I can do it better than you." and he, of course he couldn't, because who can work a lighter? I can't work a lighter.
I can't work a lighter.
So he sits, so they sat there fighting over it.
That's a good reason that I can't work a lighter.
Yes.
Right.
And then the shadows came, but they were in the middle of a cat fight. And, and they're doing this, and Emma gets really upset because she's like, "You almost got us killed because you almost blew the whole mission." She lights it with
her magic. You missed that part. She lights
we weren't there yet. But what I was saying is regarding the lighter. So she's saying, "I can't believe you guys were fighting over a lighter," and Hook says, "We weren't fighting over a lighter."
Yeah.
They were puffing up trying
At that point, they sang, "You light up my life."
So now you feel free to talk about her
I feel free
magic.
to sing.
So
they can't get the coconut lit.
And the candle in the coconut.
The candle in the coconut.
And
put
the lime and the
You put the candle in the coconut and shake it all.
Did you light it all up? So,
all right, go ahead.
So the lighter is gone because they dropped the lighter. And Emma's sitting there, the shadows are attacking, and then she remembers.
Oh yeah, I have magic.
Yeah, and she's angry. Mm-hmm. So she uses that dark magic,
and
the anger magic, and lights the coconut.
Yep.
And then, of course, Pan's shadow goes right to it, like a moth to a flame.
And suck.
Yep, and she closes the coconut.
Yep.
So she's got them, and the other ones all disappear because they're not controlled anymore. So, wow.
Absolutely.
That was a cool scene, though. I love seeing those shadows fighting and stuff. That was cool.
Yeah, that was cool.
And Snow is not speaking to David through
Right.
a lot of the episode.
She just says, like, one word. Like,
Fish. Broccoli.
Or she'll just say, yes, no,
No.
I don't care, you know. So
Odd.
they're trying to find Tinkerbell. That's their part of the mission. The ones are supposed to find the shadow. They're supposed to find Tinkerbell, and then the other ones are dealing with Ariel.
Yes.
So David and Snow are looking for Tinkerbell, and they find her, and they're saying, oh, well, we're getting the shadow, and she says, well, I don't want to hear that you might have the shadow.
You got to give me proof.
And
just
right
then,
as that happens, Hook and Neil and Emma show up with the shadow in the coconut.
Right. Well, and Tink knows Bay. And she's like, oh, Bay, I can't believe it's you, you know? And so you were talking about who's going to end up with who. I bet Bay ends up with Tink and Emma ends up with Hook.
Okay.
That's what I think.
I could see that.
Because she lit up. She likes Bay.
Okay.
And I think he likes her. I think that's how it'll resolve. Because you can't have the three of them forever.
But what if she goes back to being a mini fairy?
She won't. She's going to go back to Storybrooke with him.
Oh, okay. Well,
but she can also embiggen.
She could embiggen?
Yeah.
What?
I'm calling it what Dad calls it, embiggen.
I called it embiggen on the last episode.
How is that a thing?
Oh, you know what? You've forgotten numbers, you've forgotten words. That's a common word, embiggen.
Yes.
Embiggen.
Well, Snow and David finally talk it out.
Yes.
And she just finally says she's hurt that he didn't tell her that because he didn't believe in their love.
Right.
And she said, I would have gone anywhere to be with you. I would.
Yeah.
I want a tree house here. I'll build a tree. I don't care.
Yeah, whatever.
I'll live wherever you are. And
I'll fight Lost Boys and dodge poison arrows. That was kind of funny.
Yep.
When she said I'll fight Lost Boys and dodge poison arrows.
So they're going to stay in Neverland.
Oh, no. I do not want them to stay there.
Yeah, but they have to at this point until
What
they
if
figure out a
find
way.
another thing?
You think there's a way off?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, they got to figure it out.
Well, if they kill Pan.
Right. Well, it might also be David wasn't dead when he was cured.
Yeah.
The other guy was dead, and he drank the water and was brought back to life.
Yeah.
So maybe that's why he can leave and he doesn't die.
Could be.
It's a thought.
Well, so Pan, in the meantime,
Yes.
through all this, is working on Henry. He's trying to so he has this elaborate plan to put Wendy up in a house, in a tree house, and pretend she's sick, so that Henry will feel compassion and want to help her. He's going to want to save her life. The only way to save her life is to save magic.
Right.
And to do Pan's bidding.
Right.
So that's
how he gets
do.
to him. And Henry's like, what do I have to do?
Yep.
He goes, it's not what, it's where.
And where do they have to go?
Skull Cave.
Yes.
Or is it Skull Island?
I thought it was Skull Island, but I think he called it Skull Cave here.
Molly, are you making that up?
I'm not
You know
making
what?
that up.
All I know is it wasn't Gumdrop Cave or
Candyland.
Rainbow Stream or
I have Skull Island.
Fudgy River.
Are you thinking of the cave where Bay lived?
No.
This one's an island.
Yeah.
No.
But I thought they called it cave or
I think
something.
you guys are both
Maybe it's
big.
Skull.
I think you're both in Biggin.
What if it's Skull Inlet?
Inlet? What's an inlet?
It's where that skull is.
Oh.
So there you go. I win.
Mom's in Biggin.
So there we go.
Is that it?
Yeah,
Are we
we're
done?
all good.
Excellent. Well, let's wrap this up. You can find past episodes of this and all of our other podcasts at our website, which is
www.southgatemediagroup.com.
You can also find links to all of our social media there, and you can look up if you go to Twitter or Facebook, look up either Southgate Media Group, which is where we are, or you can look up Ever After, the Once Upon a Time podcast, and we should have a presence there also. Send us emails. We love to get emails, and we never get them. The email is southgatemediagroup@gmail.com, and we are the ones that get that email, so send it directly to us, because we're Southgate, and it's Southgate Media Group, right?
Yeah,
Right.
you're correct.
Yes. And when we look at it on the screen, we'll embiggen it so we can read it properly. So I think that's it. Let's end this the way every great fairy tale ends.
Happily ever after.
The
end.
If you would like to donate to help pay for this and other Southgate Media Group podcasts, simply go to our website, southgatemediagroup.com, and click on the donate button. It can be as little as $1 or, well, as much as you want. Help keep this fun going by supporting this and our other shows. Thanks again for listening, everyone. You're the best fans in the world.